Hi everyone, welcome to the last Indycar of the week. My name's Gordon Ross. Today I'm in Maryhill and I've just got one thing really to talk about today, and that is the ultimatum issued by the Conservative Party to the Scottish Government. Basically, after face-to-face meetings between the Scottish Government and the English Government, because really that's what we're talking about here, it's no longer talking about Scottish and British, we're talking about Scottish and English governments. The Tory government from London has basically said that they reserve the right to do whatever they like with the devolved powers which should be coming back to Scotland, regardless of what Scotland says, whether we consent to it or not. It's basically a case of, we are going to do what we want with your laws in your country, regardless of the fact that your legal system and your powers in Scotland are actually devolved under law. We're just going to ignore that law because it's inconvenient to us. So this, I think, is a metaphor for something else. This is a sign, a big warning sign actually, a shot across the bows of the Scottish nation, not just the Scottish Government, but across the bows of us, Scottish people, by the English Government, saying that if we don't toe the line and do what we are told, there'll be trouble, that they're just going to trample all over Scotland and basically wipe their feet on us and do whatever the hell they like with these laws that are supposed to come back from Europe directly to Scotland. So I think we can safely say that what this means is that the Tory English government is saying to Scotland, this is how it's going to be, take it or leave it. And I'm quite certain that we're going to be leaving it, because this is no longer it's no longer like an independence battle. This is a battle between leaving and remaining, just like it was with the the EU referendum. There will be leavers and remainers, and it's a case of, do we leave the UK now, or do we remain and suffer as a slave state forevermore? And I think I know the answer to this myself, and I'm pretty certain a lot of other people are beginning to shift their opinions when they see what Brexit has in store for Scotland. But now we know the gloves are off, and all the pretty talking and posturing and the gestures towards Scotland and this politeness and the process that we've been going through has all been just a charade. At the end of the day, doesn't matter what Scotland says, yes or no, it will be taken as consent by England to do whatever England wants with Scotland. And that means it will have free rein to lower the standards in Scotland, to remove regulations and laws which prevent England doing what it wants with Scottish resources, and preventing Scotland from doing anything with its resources because it's being overruled by its next door neighbour. Now, in my opinion, I'm not an international lawyer, but I'm pretty certain that one country cannot do that to another country in a union. There has to be agreement, otherwise it's not a union. Scotland has said for centuries that it's in a union, it's a country in a union. It's not been extinguished, it's not been annihilated by the union, it's not been removed as a country. Its laws are protected under the agreements and treaties of union, and its legal system is protected, and its education system and banking system even to some extent are protected under that agreement. And under other agreements signed by the London government, Scotland's powers are devolved, and that means that any power which is not specifically reserved to Westminster must be devolved to Scotland. The Tories have just broken that. They've just broken that agreement, and to my mind, that means all bets are off. That's the end of the road as far as process is concerned. The Scottish Government has jumped through every hoop, it's been down every avenue, it's tried to explore every possible way of working with the English Government to come to an agreement over these powers, and made all sorts of reasonable suggestions about how it should be done as equals. But the point is, the English Government does not see itself as equal. It sees itself as superior to Scotland, and it sees itself as running Scotland, and anything that Scotland decides to do will be ignored while England runs Scotland. This is why, I warned about this a few months ago, that David Mundell and his Tory cronies are setting up a parallel Scottish government. And this is intended to take over the running of Scotland when the Tories have completely ignored every convention, every treaty and every promise that's been made to Scotland over devolution. Essentially, devolution has come to a shuddering stop now. The Tories have ended devolution with one single word, and that's the word normally. They insert the word normally into a clause concerning the powers being given to Scotland, that they will not normally legislate or alter legislation going to Scotland. That's gone. They want to repatriate all of these powers, but particularly 27 of them, that they will not relinquish, and they're not going to let Scotland have any power over how they're used. They've told us to take it or leave it. And I think that really is the battle cry now for the final, and I think it will be the final independence fight that we have. And it will be, we are leaving it. We're not going to take it anymore. Why should we take it anymore? We've taken it and taken it and taken it, and look where it has got us. It's got us to the point where we are being taken away from our biggest export markets forcibly against our will. We're having all of our industries wrecked again by the Tories' stupid ideological crap that cost us so many hundreds of thousands of jobs back in the 1980s, and basically wrecked an entire generation's chances of ever having a decent life. And now they're going to do it again, and they're saying to us, take it or leave it. That really has got to be the battle cry for the independence movement from now on. Leave it. We are leaving it. It's going to be on the ballot paper, leave or remain. It's not going to be yes or no to independence. It's going to be, we're leaving the UK. That's it. Because that's what this is about. It's no longer about waving flags for independence. It's about not taking any more crap from London. Having all of your agreements torn up, your treaties trampled over, every single thing that the British government promised to do has been swept aside by the Tories to enable them to carry out this ridiculous Brexit. So that's it for this week. The battle cry is now going to be leave. Not yes, but leave. We're no longer yes campaigners, we're leave campaigners. We're leaving it. We're not going to take it. Anybody who wants to take it is welcome to take it down to England and take it down there, because we've had enough up here. I know I've had enough of it, and I can't take it anymore either, and I think that's really where we're at now. The Scottish Government has said, no, we're not taking it, we're going to leave it, and I expect them to stick to that. In 1 month's time, or thereabouts, the SNP will have its summer conference, and I expect that they will call a referendum, because they cannot do anything else now. The British, I was going to say the British government, it's the English government, has challenged Scotland. They have slapped us in the face and thrown down the gauntlet and said, if you don't like it, you know what you can do. And we know what we're going to do. We are going to leave it. And now it's time that the SNP reveals its plans, and I think that's going to happen in the next few weeks. But we've come to the end of the road as far as being Mr. Nice Guy or Mrs. Nice Guy, and now the gloves come off and the real fight begins. But as I say, I don't think it's going to be a campaign between yes and no. It's going to be a campaign between leave and remain. We've left, or we're being forced to leave one union that was against our wishes. Now we get the chance to leave a union which is utterly repugnant to all of us and is not acting in our best interests anymore. It's acting in its own interests. How long can a country be ruled by another country and still keep going back for more? You've heard of turning the other cheek. Well, we've had all four cheeks slapped repeatedly, and we keep turning and getting them slapped again and slapped again. It's like we have goldfish memory. We just don't remember the last time we got slapped in the face when a promise was made by an English government. But now the promise is of misery. The promise is that we'll be ignored. The promise is that no matter what we say, the English government will do whatever it wishes with us. And that is no longer acceptable. That's not democracy. That is a dictatorship. That's saying it doesn't matter what you say, Scotland. It doesn't matter how much of a majority you have, Scotland. It doesn't matter how many millions of votes you get, Scotland. We are going to do what we want with your country, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, sorry, England, there is something we can do with it, and you've told us exactly what it is. We can leave, and that is the message I want to give to my programme viewers today, that we're fighting to leave. It's no longer about independence, it's about escape. Unless we escape this year, we will be trapped in Brexit forever. We'll be trapped with Tory governments forever, and there'll be more and more unemployment, there will be more poverty, more food banks, more of our resources will be sold off to feed the massive debt mountain that England has run up through its mismanagement of its own economy. Scotland's economy is in the black, has been for years. We are running at a profit. Why? Why on earth would we want to give that profit to another country which is doing something so absolutely ridiculous and self-destructive as Brexit? Why would we do that? Nope, it's time to leave, and that's what I think the next campaign should be. I mentioned to you GRIP the other day, the grassroots independence people's movement. Well, GRIP has got to get a grip. It's time for Scotland to leave the UK, and I think that's what should be on the ballot paper. Anyone who has opinions about what should be on the ballot paper, if you disagree with me, let me know, but I think that's the way it's looking to me. It's no longer yes or no, it's now leave or remain. Do you want to escape the brutality of this English state, this English-run Scotland that we live in, or do you want to leave it and to be free of it once and for all, and able to run our economy the way we want, and to have all of our taxes spent here, and get rid of the nuclear weapons that are sitting in our lochs, get rid of the pollution, get rid of the dumped explosives that the British state has dumped all around Scottish waters, and basically just empty Scotland of all the nasty crap that the English government has dumped here over the years. It is time to leave. It's high time we left. 2014, we gave them the benefit of the doubt, I think, and look where that got us. Now we're being told that we have no choices, that we are going to be forced to do something as a country that we voted against doing. And that is a dictatorship. And that is an unacceptable situation. And that's why we have to leave. I'll see you later. Bye for now.